Hello, my name is Kevin Rincon, and I'm doing my presentation on American Airlines. This is the standard logo of the American Airlines. The main points that I'm going to review today is the history of American Airlines present time, and American Airlines bankruptcy. Now to start off with the history, American Airways was created in 1927. The first and oldest plane model to be used by this company was the FC-2W. In 1934, the American Airways Company was acquired by E.L. Cord, who renamed it the American Airlines. Now this here is a picture of the first airplane, and the location is in Alaska. As you can see, it has to use sleds to land on the ice, because if it were to use wheels, it would obviously slide out of control. American Airlines before World War II. Back then, American Airlines made revenue by transporting passengers and U.S. mail. In 1936, American Airlines introduced the first plane, the DC-3, to make total revenue profit solely off of transporting passengers. Now this was huge back then. I mean, we're taking a step towards the future right here. We're moving on from just moving passengers and mail to just passengers. Now we're creating a different separate system, one for just mail and one for passengers. Other carriers still didn't have this luxury, which helped propel the American Airlines profits. Like I said before, this is a huge advancement for American Airlines, because they're obviously the first company to do this. This is a picture of the DC-3. That's the airplane that was used to only transport passengers, and as you can see, it's quite the advancement from the original airplane that was you were seeing in the previous slide. Not only was American Airlines the first to create an airline system that created profit on just transporting passengers, but it was also the first airline company to create an airline lounge in an airport. This lounge was later labeled the Admiral's Lounge. Although there was no physical admirals in the name, admirals in the lounge per se, the name was still a hit. Now this also, besides the fact that they had created the first transportation system without mail, this was also another key factor, because not only were they allowing passengers to wait with luxury, but they were also allowing certain passengers to feel that, that importance that they obviously had in life. So hypothetically, you're a businessman and you're constantly traveling. You obviously know, you're a main guy, you have a lot to do, and obviously if you have to wait around for something, which obviously not a lot of main guys want to do, they'd rather wait and stop. Post-war developments. After World War II, 1950, American Airlines acquired American Export Airlines, renaming it American Overseas to serve Europe. In 1959, American Airlines introduced a partnership with Boeing Aircraft Company. The first 707s were used serving the company, as well as the first electronic booking system. The electronic booking system was created by IBM. Now, with the purchase, or with the ability to fly overseas to Europe, it actually allowed the American Airlines to expand. It allowed their routes to go overseas, service more people, which in then turn creates more profit and more revenue for the company. Now, the fact that they created the 707, the IBM booking system, that part was also another key factor, because seeing as how the 707s were obviously, it's a very large plane, not to mention the IBM system, that was another advancement that they used. It was a quicker booking system, it was more efficient and more accurate, which allowed more flights to be booked, more precise, estimates and percentages of people and other fuel costs that were used during the plane. This is a picture of the 707. We still use some of them today. Not very many, because they weren't very fuel efficient compared to how they were today. After moving headquarters to Dallas-Fort Worth from New York City in 1979, American changed their hub and route system. These hubs were located in Fort Worth and Chicago O'Hare. Now, like moving to Europe overseas, having that airway, this changing the whole hub and route system. This allowed American Airlines to, take advantage of all of America this time. In that sense of allowing more routes being created and more destinations available for those that weren't created before. American Airlines present time. 9/11. See, I bring up 9/11 because, as you all know, 9/11 was a time period where America was struck by terrorists and was very, very dreadful for all of us. Now, I bring up 9/11 because it has to do with American Airlines, because their quote before 9/11 was, "No other airline gives you more America than American." Now, it's obviously a pretty standard slogan. It states their company name and basically what they're trying to do. And after 9/11, it says, "We are the airline that is proud to be the American name." Now that's obviously stating, sure, you guys did attack us, but you know what? We're proud to be Americans. We stand for what we are, and we're not backing down. And there's no way we're going to change what we stand for and what our American name is. And right here in the bottom left corner, this is actually the crash site of the American Airlines flight that had managed to crash, unfortunately. On September 12, 2009, AMR announced that they were looking to buy some of the financially struggling Japan Airlines. On February 9, 2010, Japan announced that it will strengthen its relationships with American Airlines. Now this is another big part. See, because now they have Europe overseas, they have Japan Airways, not to mention they also have other different airliners that are going to Southern America. So now they're just basically advancing and expanding all over the world, which is obviously a great news for America and just for the company itself. Partnering JetBlue. On March 31st, 2010, American and JetBlue announced a partnership regarding the interlining of routes. 27 of JetBlue that was not served by American Airlines and 13 of JetBlue that were not served by American Airlines were later served by both companies in agreement. See, now that means that 40 routes in all in total were now served by both companies, which obviously allowed not having to choose which company to go for, and it allowed an easier booking system for both companies. Environmental status. The Texas Commission of Environmental Quality awarded American Airlines for outstanding efforts in environmental protection and pollution prevention. Now, this is also another big thing, seeing as how we do have that global warming effect, and a lot of people do believe in it, some people don't. But for those that do believe in it, this is a big part right here. I mean, obviously, it's a huge corporate. I mean, they're trying to do their part in going green, perhaps you could say. American recycling companies reserved $1 billion in the year 2002, and American Airlines spent thousands. American Airlines thousands when invested $2,000. Now, what's meant by that is that they had few aircrafts, and what they did was they slowly invested 2,000, but that thousands later created into thousands of thousands. It just kept expanding. And here's a picture of a flight attendant here recycling, doing her part. And then one of their slogans is reuse, reduce, recycle. And obviously they're trying to live by what they mean, so they're always trying to make an impact. The number of American Airlines fleet has reached 608 aircrafts in April 20th, 2012. Depending on the amount of time the flight is, the food that they serve differentiates. Now, seeing as how you do have different destinations, say you're going overseas, you're going to have a full course meal. Now, the standard snack that is given is usually snacks, peanuts and pretzels. That's usually standard. But like I said, if you're going overseas, you're always going to get a full course meal depending on what time of the day. It can either be breakfast, you might get an omelet or something, or lunch, it'll be a sandwich or a dinner, a nice Salisbury steak. You don't really know. But that's also one of the key perks that you're going to have if you're flying overseas around that time. The parent, AMR Corporation, American Airlines, American Eagle, and other subsidiaries that filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 2009. On February 1st, AMR executives told Americans, the unions, that the airline needed to cut $2 billion in costs, including $1.25 billion in employee-related expenses. Now, this is where the bankruptcy chapter comes in right here. As you all know, American Airlines did file for bankruptcy, and these are the cuts that they had to obviously make.